711 AD, year 89 of the Hijra. I begin my tale as the winds throw the sands up into a centrifugal spiral, forcing the men and horses to take refuge and shield their eyes. I cannot help but notice how the camels stand tall, undaunted. We are a people of the horse, but we have the resilience of camels as well. Invaders have swept through this land for centuries, and yet we Berbers have remained powerful and strong-willed. Until now, we have only rarely ventured outside of our homeland on a path of conquest. All of that is about to change. A man named Tariq Ibn Ziyad has sowed the seeds of ambition in the minds of warriors and simple herdsmen alike, and we prepare for war. Tariq is not as other men. Formerly a slave, he rose to be a brilliant general. Strong, charismatic, and tactful, he is also one of our own. Thousands of men flock to his banner, and men who formerly shunned the thought of venturing across the sea now eagerly board the ships destined for Iberia. With Allah as my witness, I shall truthfully record the events to come, for good or ill. Racked by fear and treachery, the slow Visigoth forces fell easily to our agile horsemen. Thousands of men lie dead, and although they were our enemies, the Visigoths fought valiantly and honorably. It is a melancholy thing to see their corpses left to the crows and wolves. As we entered the city of Cordoba, men stared in awe at the architecture and riches on display. Now is no time for resting, Tariq tells us. There is much left to be done. 712 AD, year 90 of the Hijra. Banners billow in the wind, and the tips of spears glisten in the sun as hundreds of soldiers ride by. A horn sounds as the front of the column approaches a promontory overlooking a large, glorious city. We have reached Toledo, the center of the Visigoth kingdom. I can hardly believe my eyes at her beauty, a city worthy of a king. Tariq is determined that we capture Toledo quickly, before the neighboring cities have the chance to react. The Visigoth heartland will be difficult to subdue. Opposing us, in addition to Toledo, are the cities of Seville, Merida, Talavera, and Guadalajara. Many of these cities date back to a time when the Romans still ruled these lands. We are not alone, however. Tariq's former master, Musa ibn Nusayr, has landed in the south with a large army. If we can capture Toledo and hold out until Musa's soldiers arrive, we will crush the Visigoths with a two-pronged attack. The Visigoth cities did not fall easily. These people truly fight like lions. To breach the walls of Toledo, Tariq ordered the construction of two large armored rams with iron heads. These engines are indeed fearsome to behold. The gates of city after city crumbled before their might. A cloud of dust could be seen from miles away as Musa's army approached. After having breached the cities of Seville and Merida, they were laden down with the spoils of war. Both armies rejoiced at their success with much revelry. 713 AD, year 91 of the Hijra. The meeting between Tariq and Musa was strange to witness. The respect between the two is considerable, but there is an air of competition, of rivalry. They will not be robbed of their glory. Despite the order of the Caliph that Tariq and Musa return to Damascus, the two have begun to plan campaigns deeper into enemy territory. Dividing the army, Tariq strikes north, while Musa targets the city of Zaragoza. A local Visigoth lord, Theodemir of Murcia, has pledged us his support. Home to a strong army and a thriving economy, Murcia will be a potent ally. However, we have a new and dangerous enemy. Peleo of Historias, a Visigoth nobleman, has rallied what was a fractured resistance to a formidable adversary. In his dominion in Asturias, a large army gathers, preparing to attack. If we can weather the storm that is sure to come, with the blessing of Allah, we may even be able to conquer as far as Septimania. Septimania and the Ebro Valley have fallen beneath the heel of our glorious armies, but we have not achieved a complete victory. Tariq and Musa were forced to return to Damascus, and without their leadership, we'll find it difficult to defeat the Asturians. The future of the conquest looks bleak. I shall continue to chronicle the events ahead, though I fear that our land may fall victim to invasions and internal strife, like so many other kingdoms before us. 732 AD, year 110 of the Hijra. After many years, our people have finally found another glorious leader to follow. Seeking vengeance for the defeat of our armies at the hands of the Franks over 10 years before, Abd ar-Rahman al-Ghafiqi has rallied our armies for another campaign. Bred on the battlefield, al-Ghafiqi is no stranger to the ways of war. Having waged war on the Visigoths, Asturians, and Franks, his most recent exploit was the quelling of a rebellion by the Berber governor in Catalonia. If we are to invade the land of the Franks, we must make a dangerous crossing of the Pyrenees. To arrive at the other side in time to start our campaign in the spring, we'll be forced to start this journey in the dead of winter. The rugged terrain is difficult for armies to cross, and ambushes will almost certainly be frequent. Many men will not survive the journey. I grow old, but I will make this journey through the frigid mountains so that I might see another year of conquest. Truly, I have not endured such a trying journey in the entirety of my life. The cold and cruel winds were like nothing I have ever experienced, and the fear of enemy ambushes lurking behind every bend is enough to drive a man mad. Between the elements and enemy blades, many of our men perished on the crossing. Nevertheless, we arrived in considerable force on the other side. It is more than many hoped for. We have little time to rest and recover our strength. The Franks will not lie waiting forever. 732 AD, year 110 of the Hijra, a month since we crossed the Pyrenees. Our army advances into the heart of Aquitania, scouting the region as we move forward. Thick forests and open fields abound, and we made camp near a river crossing. The Frankish army is powerful, but their cavalry cannot match ours as long as we fight on an open field. Using our mobility to our advantage will prove quite important in the battles ahead. Al-Ghafiqi will risk no error. He has a score to settle with the Frankish Count Odo of Aquitaine, the warlord who smashed an Umayyad army at Toulouse 10 years prior. After such a long time, these two giants will finally meet again. The Frankish lands are divided. Their tendency to localism is no match for the organization of the Umayyad Caliphate. Capturing the city of Bordeaux will throw the region into chaos and allow us to pounce on the Frankish army as a cat would upon a mouse. This will be the great razzia, or raid, of our time. I can only pray that we are up to the challenge. With the blessing of Allah, the horn announcing our success sings a loud, shrill tone that echoes over the countryside. Upon hearing of our approach, Odo's army descended upon Bordeaux, only to fall beneath our hooves. Another Frankish army hastened south, but was no match for our brave, seasoned warriors. A bloody battle ensued, and afterwards the Franks lamented their defeat, saying that God alone knows the number of the slain. With the Frankish army defeated, there is little standing between our glorious forces and eternal glory as the conquerors of Europe. For centuries, history will remember us as the courageous warriors who defeated countless kings. I dare say few would have thought so many years ago that any of this would be possible.